Dricus Du Plessis, DDP, the White P Diddy, goes out there and he gets a dominant decision victory over Kamaru Usman. Quite depressing to see, to be honest with you. I was picking Kamaru Usman. Usman just did not have the physicality out there. He started off rounds 1 and 2. He got wobbled. I thought he was going out. I thought Usman was done. DDP was flicking up this weird, goofy, auraless question mark kick, which was somehow landing over the glove, and it seemed to wobble Kamaru Usman. Usman looked rough, but he picked up a second wind in that third round where he looked like he won the round. But to be honest with you, that could be a 5-0 sweep for Dricus Du Plessis. He seemed to win every single round in relatively dominant fashion. He almost finished him in the second round. To be fair though, at the end, Usman was kind of teeing off on DDP. He was kind of hitting him a couple times, and he did finish the fight strong, but that was a complete domination from Dricus Du Plessis. He gets on the mic, he shits on Khamzat Chimaev. Fair enough, Kamaru Usman gave his heart and soul to that fight. That was an absolute war. He went out there, he fought his best fight, but it just was not enough because Dricus Du Plessis was too much. I think Kamaru kind of just abandoned the takedown and abandoned trying to shoot for takedowns because the knees, the way in which he shoots takedowns, he kind of leans into them, and the knees were just not having it. Dricus Du Plessis fended off the takedowns. I think Usman only shot about 4 or 5 times. He only shot about 4 or 5 takedowns, and Dricus went out and defended each and every single one of them. It looked like Usman kind of gave up on the wrestling to the end and tried to rely on his striking, tried to get the knockout, but it just did not work for him. Sad to see Usman go out like that. He put on an absolute banger of a performance though. You know, at 39, approaching 40 years old, to go out there and to go toe-to-toe with a former champion, a guy who has 2 wins over the current champion right now, is an incredibly impressive feat, and one he should be incredibly proud of. He looked disappointed. He kind of looked like he thought he might have got the victory, but Trevor Whitman was telling him in that 5th round that he needed a finish to win the fight, and he didn't quite get it. To be fair, he ended that fight extremely strongly. He was teeing off on DDP near the end. He did get clipped as he was going out, but that was a clean Dricus Du Plessis performance, and I put my hands up. I thought Kamaru Usman, to be completely honest with you, I thought Kamaru Usman was going to go out there, and I thought he was going to wrestle, lay on top of Dricus Du Plessis just like Khamzat did, but he didn't end up doing that. I guess he just didn't have the physicality. He looked outmatched, and Dricus Du Plessis was just too strong, just too fast. His striking looked a little bit less goofy than it typically does. It still looked goofy, don't get me wrong. It's Dricus Du Plessis, but it looked decent. You know, the kicks were good, and Usman, he had Usman wobbled a lot. So the first 2 rounds, relatively dominant from Dricus. Got a little bit rough in that 3rd round. It was a bit of a war. Both men were throwing down, both men were scrapping, but I think ultimately DDP won that round as well. He finished relatively strong, 4th and 5th round. He did look a little bit gassed. You know, DDP's cardio has always been a bit of an issue, but at the end of the day, that was an absolutely fast-paced fight, and both men looked tired out there, so it's no discredit to Dricus that he was tired at the end of the 5th round, and he was still in good enough a shape to parade around, call for a title shot, look pretty happy with himself. So it was a very entertaining fight and a very good main event to end a relatively entertaining card. You know, not too many decisions, a lot of knockouts, a lot of finishes. It was good. It was a good fight night. And what next for DDP? I think he needs one more, honestly. I think he needs one more, to be honest with you. A decision against 39-year-old no-need Usman. It's a bit of a tough one. You can't really call for a title shot. The only thing carrying him towards a title shot is his 2 victories over Sean Strickland. But we'll see what happens. Is he a big enough star to get that title shot? If he was an Israel Adesanya level name, then maybe. So yeah, Dricus Du Plessis, the king of Africa, gets the W over Marty Fake Newsman. Poor Kamaru Usman, I did really feel quite bad for him there. He gave his heart. He gave his heart to that fight, and he put it all out there. But it just wasn't enough. He just didn't have the physicality. He couldn't get it done against the White P Diddy Dricus Du Plessis by falling piano. He made it happen again. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you checking out the video.